And I have a firm belief in this now, not only in terms of my own experience, but in knowing about the experiences of other people. When you follow your bliss, and by bliss I mean the deep sense of being in it and doing what the push is out of your own existence, you follow that and doors will open where you would not have thought there were going to be doors, and where there wouldn't be a door for anybody else. And there's something about the integrity of a life, and the world moves in and helps.
It is a crisis that strikes at the very heart and soul and spirit of our national will. We can see this crisis in the growing doubt about the meaning of our own lives and in the loss of a unity of purpose for our nation. In a nation that was proud of hard work, strong families, close-knit communities, and our faith in God, too many of us now tend to worship self-indulgence and consumption. Human identity is no longer defined by what one does, but by what one owns. But we've discovered that owning things and consuming things does not satisfy our longing for meaning.
When I heard the learned astronomer, when the proofs, the figures were ranged in columns before me, when I was shown the charts and diagrams to add, divide, and measure them, when I, sitting, heard the astronomer where he lectured with much applause in the lecture room, how soon, unaccountable, I became tired and sick, till rising and gliding out, I wandered off by myself, and in the mystical moist night air, and from time to time, looked up in perfect silence at the stars. We're going to come back to that. As we're coming to the end of this year, I'm already kind of hearing kind of murmurs and talk of just almost like an assumption that the next year will be better. And, you know, good riddance to 2020, 2021 will be better. I think it's coming from me, of all people, I think it's a little naive and dismissive of the circumstances that brought us here to this place and this time. I could be totally wrong, and let's hope I'm wrong, but I feel like it'll be more of the same, at least in the beginning. And I don't think it'll be as rough a transition where it'll shake people out, but I don't expect things to just magically become better. I think we become better.
I define the power elite as myself and my friends, and that's a winner script. And the way to accomplish things is with a winner script. Like a friend of mine in Silicon Gulch was telling me about a guy starting a new computer business there, and he said he's very optimistic. And I said, of course he is. Pessimists don't start businesses. Pessimists don't do a damn thing. Pessimists sit around telling each other how hopeless everything is. It's the optimists who get things done. And so I define myself as a winner. I define my programs as winnable. And I count on the stupidity of whoever seems to be in power to undo them eventually. Because, as I said, every conspiracy has a natural lifespan. Every conspiracy collapsed by double crosses from within or by superior cleverness by rival conspiracies. And stupidity has a definite evolutionary function. I am all for abolishing stupidity, but before it goes, while there's still a lot of it around, we should pay tribute to it.
We have a growing cynicism, a growing idea of nihilism, and these things kind of limit us and kind of provoke us towards forms of addiction. And it can be something like alcohol or drugs. I don't think it's always that. Sometimes I believe the things that are addicting to us are patterns. It could be, the pattern of drinking, the pattern of a stimulant, the pattern of a toxic individual or habit. And we keep coming back to these old pathways, and we kind of spiral down in these addictions, and we're coiled up, and our world seems limited, and we seem to feel more and more hopeless. And we're in a state of survival, and we're thinking in primal terms, and we're ignoring things that are possible and important to us. So what I want to give is to me a pretty good antidote, and that is, you know, the opposite implication is that we can rise up, that we can grow, that we can fulfill our potential, that we can lift ourselves up. Just the words that we're using, right? These, you know, our language is full of metaphors, and our words in themselves are maps of meaning, right? They kind of compressed information for us.
I've really become interested in the idea that the sense of engagement, of meaningful engagement, is the deepest of cognitive instincts. I actually think you can make a very strong neurobiological case for that. And that if you're engaged in something, what it means is that you're safe and secure, on the one hand, sufficiently safe and secure. You're in your domain of competence, which is a good place to be. You know, it's like explored territory. So you're within the walls where you're safe, but you're also peering over the fence at the same time, right? So if you're engaged, what it means is that you're in your domain of competence, but you're operating within that domain of competence so that you're expanding your competence at the same time. And so you feel that as meaningfully engaging, and it is. And so, and I do also think that that sense of meaningful engagement is the right antidote to the suffering that's part and parcel of our limited existence. It's like you need an antidote to the fact that life is suffering.
These engaging acts can inspire us to be in a state of flow where we ourselves are acting out in things that are challenging for us and for our being.
There is only one Conor McGregor, and he is your new featherweight world champion. Conor, 13 seconds we have confirmed. It is the fastest finish in a title fight ever in UFC history. Wow. How do you feel right now?
I feel clean. I feel like my work has paid off.
Your state of zen certainly paid off as well this week. It took very little energy to finish that fight. Tell me how you saw that opening and what you landed.
I just wanted to enjoy it, you know. A lot of people force their shots, and I honestly believe power is an illusion. It's the perception of power is like if it's tense and squeezed, but to me that can be seen a mile away. So I just like to place and just let it go. It's 4-ounce gloves. You just need to tip the chin, and that's it.
There's things that we want to do and things that we want to aspire for. There's things that we want to explore. There's an energy in us. There's a spirit in us that just kind of like that hurt. You know, that it's it has a thirst for new, for novelty, catalysts of change that we want to impart in the world.
But this is why I'm successful now after boxing, because I didn't take it personal. I'm not trying to even the score. Evander's still fighting. He's still trying to even the score. I'm not trying to even the score. I'm moving on to other places which are probably dark and places I've never been before, but I'm not afraid to go there. I'm not afraid to lose in life. I'm not afraid to do anything. I won't do anything. Matter of fact, I won't do anything. Matter of fact, like my show, there's nothing I would do unless I have a possibility of being humiliated. If I can't be humiliated, if I fail, I don't want to do it. Because only by doing that, I will rise to my highest potential with the fact that I might be humiliated, and I don't want that to happen. But when it does happen, then I will truly be humiliated. Because when I succeed, I truly succeed. And that's why I'm here with you.
I just want to plant that out there a little bit, the notion of engagement, of flow, and how often you experience flow. And, you know, like the videos I've made in the past year are basically amalgamations of similar topics. I talk about love, I talk about engagement, art, creativity, the perception, and the expression of ideas and listening to one another. And I will continue to repeat these ideas and hopefully elaborate in a much more coherent way, or at least even if it doesn't come off coherent, I guess the attempt is that all of them together will kind of, in a Gestalt sort of way, just land on somebody, right? And if they can get shaken and look at something slightly different and look away from I guess negativity and look towards optimism and look towards hope, then this new year 2021, you know, starting here and working yourself out, you know, starting with yourself and then working your way outward, I think is probably the surest way to grow and develop not just ourselves, but the community as a whole. And it's basically in that engagement, which to me is what that poem was about. What engages you, right? It's not in the numbers and it's not in the proofs. It's in the gaze that induces awe. So I think this is true in all the cultures and all the stories and all the things that are beautiful in this world. It's the things that induce awe, and it's the other person. It's you.